Alright guys, back on the video, and this time we're going to be going over the list I played at the Channel Fireball tournament that just happened this past Saturday. I went 4-1. I lost round 1 to myself, really. I feel like I would have been able to handle a little better. I played against Reba Gohan and I ended up charging duel, losing a dice roll and best of 1. Well, what can I say? I want to go into the list and go a little bit over Killer and how you should be playing them in this format to take advantage of the other players. Alright, so Cooler on the front side, attacks, draw a card. He also has ability every time you minus your opponent's battle card with a battle card skill, you draw a card and they mill 1. But if it's just with any other skill, you mill them 1, and that's for each instance for each battle card. Awaken at 4 life or less, draw a card, untap 1. Does the same thing on the back side, except for it happens on both players' turns. Really good card. One of my favorite leaders and my favorite villain. Got 4 of your check land. Just really good card. You really want to open up with a form of blue-red energy, so your blue-red super combo can restand them. Now, this super combo helps you arrival into your Hercule Majin Boos and your Coolers. These both help you mill and draw. This one draws you 2 essentially if you do one for the first instance, and then it returns maybe a Cooler back to your hand so you can redo it again on your opponent's next turn. But he makes you mill 1 immediately, and then you hit 2 battle cards minus 10. He hits 1 battle card minus 10. He ignores barrier, and he does not. This is your blue-red engine. I do not play the big 5-drop Frieza. It is just too slow, and the engine doesn't work well with this deck, in my opinion. For the red cards, this is like one of the best cards in the deck against some of the slower matchups. This helps your win con really become the mill win con, and it just helps you defend as well. So that's really nice against those aggro decks. 2 Wolfang Fist to go along with your Unison Jiren, and I will explain these in a second, and your 3 counterplay when you have a Unison on board with 2 markers. This one does not draw you a card, this one does not draw you a card, but they both mill you one or two cards, and this one's 1 card. Minus 15 in barrier, minus 15 to 2 things, and yeah, and Jiren, he minuses 10 anything once per turn whenever your opponent plays it, and that triggers Cooler. So these help you mill, and this gives him double strike for +1, and he also can get rid of anything ignoring barrier by removing 3 counters that cost 25,000 power or less, ignoring barrier. Really good card. I'm probably going to bump Jiren up to 4 because it's just so essential to see. The card that did the least this weekend, Mach Speed. He's really good if you don't open up with a Frieza, so take that as you will. But yeah, he hits 2 battle cards, and I think I used this effect 1 time in 5 rounds, best of 1, so he was decent. Probably cut him down or just remove him entirely. 3 Exploding Wing. It's the money card in this deck. This is the necessary evil the deck needs. Minus 20 everything on your opponent's board, and you give your leader 5k. This card is insane. It's a 3-drop, and if they don't stop it, it's going to clear up most of their board and mill them a lot of cards. This is really good against Sin Shenron and any aggro-based deck. If they don't have any way to stop this, yeah, it's going to get rid of their board if they have a Boonie and whatnot too. That's it for the red cards. 4 Senzu Bean, the best card in the game. 2 Wizard's Coercion for defense. Probably going to bump this up to 3. I did lose to Gohan, even though I had 2 of these in my hand because I had no energy. If I would have opened up a super combo, I probably would have been fine, but I did not, unfortunately. And the card that I didn't think would do as much, but it did a bit, 2 Roshi. I probably might bump this up to 3. You do want to have blue cards that you can combo with that are 5Ks, and this also just has another function for negating attack. And the card that did really nothing at all, the Goku. So
Uneasy Alliance.
The Goku bounce is in theory supposed to be bouncing back the Roshi, and then you can use the Majin Buu to bounce back this or this. So you have a little loop here that you can go with the Majin Buu itself, because at the end of turn you bring back a blue or red card back to your hand. That was the theory, but this format is kind of fast, and you don't always have the ability to use 2 blue energy to just negate an attack and bounce one of these back, because then you're not going to have a blue energy to activate this. So this was good in theory, but not as good as I wanted it to be. So probably would remove both copies of these, add another Roshi, and another Jiren. And the last blue card, we got 3 Combo Tech Cooler. Now this card is a potential 4 of. I used to play 4, but I do believe that if you draw too many of these, it's not that great, and it's not that great in all matchups. But when you set this up and you bounce Coolers back to your hand, this is what he does. You return a red or blue Frieza clan back to your hand, and you play him for 1 blue. And then when he attacks, you combo with a blue-red battle card from your drop area. So your super combo that you use to rival cooler your opponent's turn. You attack, and then you have a cooler back in your hand because you just recycled it, and then you can just play another cooler on your turn. So this helps you keep abusing cooler's ability to make the mill and draw. So, and he's 25k attacker every turn. Whenever they attack him, it triggers again. So it's really good. And the card that I feel like every deck should be playing at least some copy of. Well, there's a few decks that get away with not playing this, but the Ape is necessary, especially in a best of 1 format. This is really good because hand destruction is your real weakness. And that's the main problem with this deck, whenever you go against hand destruction and people just trying to rip your hand and you don't have anything good to discard. But this is really good at making those stale turns, because sometimes you just want to draw a couple cards and pass, because you do want to tap your energies on your turn so that when you do be a super combo, you restand something. Because sometimes it feels bad just to combo this and not get any restand off it because you didn't use the energy. So if you on your turn attack and you just combo away an Ape like I have a few times, pay 2, draw 2, you make them lose a card out of their hand to defend, and then you draw 2. That's what a lot of people use it for in the first place, or they just discard it off of abilities. But it's really important in this deck because hand destruction is your weakness, and you do lose cards to a rival. So this is a necessary evil. Not 4, but 3 is perfect, and I saw the perfect number throughout the game. And it allows you, if you do play these, you can side in some yellow cards if you need to. But if I want to talk about matchups, this deck eats the yellow decks. Gotenks has no chance. Realistically, because you're just going to keep clearing all their apes. Their apes are free targets for you to keep minus and tinning and defending with your Frieza. They don't really do anything to you, and you don't mind awakening, so it can get out of hand if they do start clearing your board, but you don't really use extra cards to defend, so they don't get the free draws off the leader. And if they do draw too much, they're going to deck out, so it doesn't really help them that much in the long run. You end up winning your games a lot by mill, especially in best of 1. But in best 2 out of 3, you do tweak up your game through game to game because you will know exactly what they're playing with the side in. But I thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or tips, or you want some tips about this deck or any other deck, please comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.